Being Alexander the Great sounds amazing, right? Well, it really wasn't. I mean, everyone thinks of crowns, glory, and armies bowing to you, but the reality is way messier. Headaches, assassination attempts, overbearing parents, and somehow people expecting you to be a god before you can even walk properly. I was born in Pella, the capital of Macedonia, into a world where childhood was basically optional. My dad, King Philip II, was already a war machine with multiple wives. And my mom, Olympias, believed I was literally the son of Zeus. Growing up in a palace doesn't sound too bad until you realize it's full of tutors, guards, and people plotting behind every curtain. Even at 5, I had to figure out which smiles were friendly, and which smiles meant your life is about to get complicated. I was tutored by Aristotle. Yes, the beardy philosopher who basically invented thinking. He taught me philosophy, science, medicine, politics, and how to look smart. By 6, I knew more than most adults. Great, right? Nope, because knowing too much as a kid is mostly a ticket to anxiety and existential dread. Physical training. Mandatory. Horses, swords, spears, running, climbing. Because apparently, toys are for peasants. Even my dreams were full of battles, hide and seek, forget it, tag, don't make me laugh. At 16, I commanded my first army. Yes, 16. And men twice my age obeyed me because they saw my father's shadow in me. Stressful? You bet. All I wanted was to swing a stick and ride a horse in peace. Family life. A circus. Dad with multiple wives, plots everywhere, and siblings trying to survive. Mom, controlling, religious, slightly terrifying. She drilled into me that I was destined for greatness, without teaching me how to handle the existential horror of being great. Drama never stopped. My father was assassinated when I was 20, just like that. Suddenly, I'm king. At 20, everyone's staring, expecting miracles. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, can someone at least bring me breakfast first? Once I became king, there was no time to sigh. I had to consolidate power, crush revolts, and pretend I knew what I was doing. Fun times. Then came Persia. Conquering an empire is not glamorous. Endless marshes in dust, heat, and exhaustion. Armies complaining about, literally, everything. Cities burning, people dying, and still having to smile for morale. Because nothing says inspiring leader like pretending you're having fun while everyone else is screaming. Meeting so many cultures taught me one thing: humans are either greedy, stupid, or both. I tried to respect local customs. Someone revolted anyway. Another betrayed me. Laissons lire ne faisant. Even my friends weren't safe. Some died in battle, some from illness, some just disappeared. I was their king, their leader, their supposed god. In reality, I was just a guy who couldn't stop death from happening. Partying became mandatory. Because apparently, great kings cope with stress by drinking copious amounts of wine. I celebrated victories, but the next day brought more battles, more cities, more revolts. Troops were tired, hungry, grumpy, keeping them motivated. Like herding cats, if cats had swords and hated you. And being called a god? Fun at first, then exhausting. Expectations: inspire, fight, conquer, smile, repeat. Even your sleep isn't your own anymore. By 30, I had conquered most of the known world. You'd think, finally, some rest. Wrong. Holding an empire together is harder than winning it. Everyone wants a piece of you, your land, your glory, your ego. And heaven forbid someone doesn't like your haircut. I wanted to unite cultures, spread knowledge, and create a legacy. Instead, I left chaos, betrayals, and exhausted administrators. Cities were named after me, 30, maybe 40. And people still hated me in some places. Cool, right? Even most powerful man on earth doesn't mean emotional control. Friends lost, betrayals suffered, questioning if it was all worth it. I tried to be a hero, a visionary, a god. Mostly, I was just tired. I died at 32. Young, ambitious, strong, and powerless against death. Everion said every. Yes, and that's exactly why it sucked. Being Alexander the Great meant golden crowns that pinch, cities that revolt, friends who die, and legends heavier than any armor. So next time you dream about greatness, remember, everyone wants the glory, but nobody wants the sleepless nights. Betrayals, endless marshes, and existential dread. Yeah, it was fun being Alexander, but let's be honest. It took